Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we took on the Seattle Kraken in the first round of the playoffs, and we managed to beat them in easily 5 games. They weren't really a good team during the regular season, and we were a very good team, so we scored a lot of goals against them. As you can see, Michkov led the team in points with 12 points in 5 games. And then we also had a lot of other good players picking up a lot of points, mostly on the forward core, as you can see, like Agostino, Kagorodov. So basically our top 6 was fantastic, I'd say. But the bottom 6 and some of the other guys were very quiet, like Ustorf. Demo was actually pretty solid too. Actually, never mind. Our forward core in general is good, because if you get 4th liners with points in the first round, that's a good thing. Defensively, on the other hand, though, you can see all the offense came from one guy, and that's Bilesma. But Fairchild was a +8, so I will definitely take that. McGrath, Sasaki, Hyvanen, and Burkov definitely were really quiet, but at least they were okay defensively. And in goalie-wise, our goaltending wasn't necessarily the best in that first round, but at least we won that first round. And yeah, now we're going to be taking on a Nashville Predators team that is probably going to be a pretty tough task, I'd say. They were the best offensive team in the league at like near the halfway point of the year. We're scoring 4 goals a game, I think it was. But then in the second half of the season, they really dropped off offensively, so I don't really know what to make of that, because they all of a sudden could just do really good in the playoffs. So, but they did go to 7 games in the first round, and this is their roster. As you can see, very good top line. Their second line is a little bit weak, but their third line is really strong. So these kind of cancel each other out in a sense. Very good top 9, I'd say, in general. And then when you have an 83 on the 4th line, that's really good as well. Just in general, that forward core is fantastic. Defensively, they're also kind of average, but they do have a 90 overall defenseman, which is something we don't have, so that's really good for them. And in goalie-wise, they also do have Braden Ramsey, who is a solid goaltender. And as you can see, depth-wise, they have an 84 scratch rate now, so I don't know if he's actually scratched or if it's maybe just because he's coming back from injury. But if he does come back from injury and start playing, they have a very good center depth in that sense. So I don't really know what to make of this Nashville Predators team. Very excited to play them again in the playoffs, because we have had some good battles with them, but at the same time, they are definitely going to be a lot tougher than the Kraken were. Quickly, before we actually get into the second round matchup, I will also show you guys how they've been doing so far in this playoffs run. Not necessarily during the regular season, because the regular season doesn't matter at this point, but in terms of the playoffs, let's actually just go by the Western Conference, so it's a little bit easier. You can see they went to 7 games in the first round, scored 4.43 goals per game, so their offense was actually really solid. And they allowed 3.14, so kind of similar to us. We are good offensively and allowed over 3 goals a game, or around 3 goals a game. Their power play was 21.7%, while ours was 45.5% in that first round, which is actually insane. And then our penalty kill was not good in the first round, and theirs was. So I hope that our penalty kill could improve in the second round. I would make some line changes to it, but I feel like it could just randomly balance itself out. But definitely the penalty kill was the struggle for us in that first round matchup against the Kraken. And yeah, hopefully it's a little bit better in the second round, especially with Nashville being over 20% on the power play. So anyways, let's get into the second round matchup and see if this top line of Michkov, Agostino, and Geeky can continue doing what they've been doing, and in that second line, if they could continue what they've been doing as well. Because Michkov is on a mission right now, it seems like, with its 12 points in 5 games. How much will he have by the end of the second round is the question, and will we have the series win at the end of this round as well? Let's see what happens here. Home ice advantage, which is nice. Let's see if we could take a 1-0 series lead here against the Preds. Come on, boys. First period of game 1, and it is going to be scoreless, but we're being outshot 17-5. God damn. That is a really terrible defensive period, I'd say, in a sense, but good goaltending. Korea somehow making 17 saves in that first period alone, so almost a shot a minute, and we only had 5 shots in that first period, which is very concerning, especially when you have guys like Michkov, who you normally shoot like 7 shots a night. That's not great. Can we find a way to take the lead in the second period despite being outshot this badly? Second period, it's going to be 2-1 Preds. Eek, that's not good. Versteeg made it 1-0. Sasaki then tied the game up, which is not who I was expecting to score. And then Gogolev restored the lead for the Preds. Shots are 25-18 now, so we definitely outshot them in that second period, but they do have the lead going into the third, which is not great. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the third period? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on. Penalty kill. And they score a power play goal, of course. Kolyakovo Makes it 3-1. That's not good. I might already make some line changes going into the next game. Penalty kill. Oh, and they get another goal, but it wasn't on the power play. Coyle makes it 4-1. Shishkinov scores to make it a 4-2 game, which is not bad. And yeah, we're going to lose game 1, unfortunately, by a score of 4-2. So yeah, I really feel like this is going to be a tough series against Nashville. Like, I feel like Nashville's definitely a cup champion-ish team that they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year if we lose. Sasaki from Demo and Spalling, and Shishkinov from Kagerodov and Penner. So no points for Michkov or Agostino that game, which is a big concern for sure, as we're now down 1-0 and we lose our home ice advantage in a sense. We need to find a way to tie this series up. Got to make some adjustments already, just because I do not trust this team fully right now. I don't know why. Let's go to penalty kill. Let's make some adjustments. Let's go Spalling on the top unit, McIntyre down, just to spread out that plus minus a little bit. And what do we want to do here? I don't know what we want to do. I don't know what we want to do with this unit. Maybe I'll just leave the rest of that the same. Let's try and get our forward core to start doing more, a little bit more again. Let's see what we could do. Do we insert one of the younger guys? Filppula does win more face-offs. I am going to take down Mo out of the lineup and put in Filppula. See if that helps out the team a little bit. I could play Festerling, but I don't have really a good spot for him on the defensive course, so I'm going to leave that the same, I think. Yeah, I think that's the only change we're going to really make, is just taking down Mo out for now. Yeah, I would like to play McElhaney. I could play McElhaney at some point too, but I don't really know where I would slot him in. If Ustorf starts taking too much penalties, which he's not really right now, then maybe we would take him out. But I think that should be good enough. So yeah, we'll put Filppula in change of Dalmo and see if that helps us out. A little bit of a change, but I think it could help us out in a sense because Filppula's got the better face-off stats on that fourth line. So maybe we'll win more draws, and maybe that'll help us out in the defensive zone a bit. Let's get into game number 2, and we'll keep with Korea for this game. But if Korea loses this game, maybe I'll go back to Donovan again. So here we go, game number 2 on home ice. Can we tie this series up headed to Nashville? Come on, boys. First period, 4-2 for us. Okay, that's a very offensive period, and I don't like it defensively, but I definitely will take it offensively. Braylen opens the scoring for them. Ustorf scores, which is kind of a surprise. He doesn't score that lot in the playoffs, especially. Michkov then scores. Bilesma scores. Then Prindis scores. And then Bilesma again. What's with the offensive numbers from Bilesma this postseason? Because that's now like 8 points for him this postseason, which I don't understand why, because he's not even on the power play, I'm pretty sure. But we have a 4-2 lead after 1. Shots are 15-9 as well in favor of us. Can we keep on with this lead here in the second period? Second period, 7-2. What the heck is this offense? God damn. Our offense has been insane in this playoff run so far. Penner, Geeky, and Agostino score. We're up 7-2 after 2. Shots are 27-16. Looks like we should have this game in the bag unless they're just going to make us lose this game 8-7, because that would be a typical EA thing to do. But Clefbaum makes it 7-3 early. That's not good. Penner makes it 8-3, so we answer right back, which is good. This might be the most goals I've seen score in a simulation before. 8 goals in the game, and Clefbaum makes it 8-4. No, Seal makes it 8-5. Please, guys, don't blow this. We're playing terrible defensively, but at least we have the lead here in this one, and we are going to take game 2 by a score of 8-5. Shots were 38-29 at the end of it, and we have now a tie series headed to Nashville, which is good, but very good offensive game, very terrible defensive game. So Ustorf from Filppula and Hyvinen, Michkov from Agostino McGrath, Bilesma from McIntyre and Yoshimura, Bilesma from Yoshimura and McIntyre again. Penner from Kagerodov and Shishkinov, Geeky from Agostino McGrath, Agostino from Geeky and Michkov, and then Penner from Shishkinov and Kagerodov. Damn, so many goals in that game. 3 points from Agostino, a lot of players with 2 points. Holy crap, that's a lot of players with 2 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players with 2 points. The entire lineup had points except for 5 players. Shelley had no points, which is kind of a surprise. But at least he was a +2. And yeah, terrible performance from Korea, but he got the W, so I think I need to give him a break, though. I feel like I should put Donovan in next game, maybe. Clefbaum, the first star with 3 points. Agostino, the second star with 3 points. And Bilesma, the third star with 2 goals. But yeah, I don't know where the offense is coming from Bilesma, because he's a DFD, so he shouldn't be picking up like this many points in the first 2 rounds, but he is. Okay, so an 8-5 win. Do we continue to keep our lineup the same? Forward-wise and defensively, I think we do. Unless we want to just rework the defensive core a little bit, which we could do. Yeah, maybe we'll rework the defensive core a little bit. Do Bilesma and Sasaki. But Bilesma has been so good. 7 points in 7 games. Or 8 points in 7 games. Nah, maybe I'll just leave it the same, the defensive core. The goaltending-wise, though, I've not been sold on Korea at all. I am going to turn to Donovan for this game, even though we just won a game. Just to see if that helps us out a little bit, because that was a terrible defensive game. So, yeah, we'll leave the rest of that the same. But yeah, we'll see if Donovan could get us a 2-1 series lead, and if we could play much better defensively than that game, because 8-5, not really sold on that type of game. I mean, I like the offensive numbers for sure, but playing that bad defensively is a bit iffy. Here we go, game number 3 in Nashville now. Let's see if we can take a 2-1 series lead on the Predators. First period, 1-0 Preds, so at least that's better defensively, but not great offensively. I hope that our offense doesn't just like dry up after those 8 goals. Shots are 14-8 in favor of the Preds. We are down 1-0, but at least we're still in this game. Second period, 3-1 Preds, not good. Coyle and Henderson made it 3-0. Michkov pulled us within 2 goals, which is good. Shots are 23-20 in favor of the Preds. We're down by 2 goals. Let's see what happens in the third period. See if we can get this game tied back up somehow. But yeah, I might have to make some adjustments to the team in a sense, because maybe not. Filipil makes a 1-goal game and Sasaki ties it up. Let's go. We've had a lot of good third periods in this playoff run so far. Hey, and we take the lead. Filipil again. Filipil is only getting like 4th line ice time, and he scores 2 goals in the third period. What a beast. And then McIntyre makes it 5-3. Let's go. We're going to take a 2-1 series lead here, which I didn't expect. 4 goals in this the third period. So we've had like 3 games where we've had a lot of goals in the third period, which is nice to see. And we have taken a 2-1 series lead. Good depth scoring there. So Filipil with 2 goals, and then Sasaki, which is nice to see. McIntyre scoring again. I like it. Our offense is doing really well. I don't like our defensive play, but I mean, we're winning games, so. Michkov from Shishkov and Geeky, Filipil from Hyven and Ustorf, Sasaki from Geeky and Michkov, Filipil from Bilesma and Ustorf, and McIntyre from Shelley and Yoshimura. So we come back from 3-0 to win 5-3. Let's take a look at those players' stats. A couple players with 2 points in that one. Yeah, our offense has been insane in these first 2 rounds so far already. Good game as well from Donovan, so maybe I'll start Donovan next game. But usually Korea plays really good when he gets back into the lineup. So Filipil gets first star. Love that. So maybe it was the right move to take out Damo. And then Brilon second star and Michkov the third. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Donovan in for next game as well. And then maybe if he loses this game, we'll go back to Korea. Michkov has 16 points in 8 games. The offensive talent of this team is actually crazy right now. But the defensive play is kind of worrisome. So yeah, we'll go back to Donovan again since he just won. But if he loses this game, then we'll go back to Korea, because Korea normally comes back from being scratched to being a pretty solid goalie. So we'll see if he comes back next game and if he plays good. So here we go. Can we take a 3-1 series lead on the Nashville Predators after 2 really solid offensive games? Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. Let's do this. Let's do this. First period of game number 4. And it's 1-0 us. Let's go. Yoshimura scores. He has not scored a lot in this playoff run so far, but holy crap, the shot differential. That literally took me by surprise. 19-1. 19-1. So their goalie completely kept them in it in that first period. That might be the most lopsided shot total I've ever seen in the simulation. 19-1 after 1. And we're only up 1-0, which is kind of concerning. Makes me feel like Ramsey is going to just all of a sudden like keep his team in it, and then they're going to somehow get the lead with like a low amount of shots. Hopefully Donovan is still ready to go and he's a little bit warmed up for the second period, because that's not great. Only facing one shot through 20 minutes, you got to feel like his legs are a little bit cold for the rest of that game. So let's see what happens in the second period. Can we add to our lead? Second period, 2-1. Let's go. I'll take that. Shots are 33-10. Holy moly. Shishkinov makes it 2-0, but Versteeg will pull them within one. Shots are 33-10, and we're only up by a goal, so their goaltender's definitely trying to keep their team in this game by a long shot. They have not been playing that good, but they managed to get 1 goal in 10 shots, which is kind of concerning. But like I said, Donovan probably not fully warmed up because he hasn't faced a lot of shots so far. Let's see if we can lock down this game in this third period and add some insurance to this game as well. Come on, boys. Let's add some insurance, please. And they're going to tie it up, of course. I felt like that was going to happen, despite us outshooting them badly. It's a 2-2 game now. We have over 40 shots. We're doubled them in shots. Come on, boys. Can we get the lead back? And no, we can't. Yeah, see, I knew that it was going to happen. This game is going to cheese me out of these wins. I knew it. Donovan only faces 21 shots, allows 3 goals. 1 was an empty netter afterwards. We lose 4-2 despite outshooting them 43-21. God damn. I felt like that was going to happen. The EHEs does it again. Oh, that sucks. A couple players with 1 point in this game. Goalie-wise, yeah, Donovan wasn't great. So we'll go back to Korea for next game, but I felt like Ramsey was just going to be on his game the entire night, and then our goaltender was just not going to be doing that well. You could kind of feel like it was going to happen. At least I did. I don't know about you guys. 6-3 so far in the playoffs. Can we take a 3-2 series lead is the question. We need our offensive guys to step up for sure in this next game, and we need Korea to do what he does normally when he comes back, because he was not that great so far. Donovan has definitely been the better of the 2 goalies. And yeah, we're going to keep the rest of the lineup, I think, the exact same. I don't want to move Michkov down because he's been great, but I mean, we could just randomly try and change things up like that. See if that improves the offensive output of this team a little bit. 9 points in 9 games for Bilesma is insane. Don't know why he's doing so good. Yeah, I think I'm going to just keep everything else the same. And then see what Korea could do instead of Donovan. Because if Korea could play good for a game, then we could be 1 game away from going back to that conference finals. But if we lose this game, that's where we're going to get into a bit of a concerning territory, I'd say. Can we take a 3-2 series lead here with a win on home ice? This is a crucial game. Come on, boys. Let's see what happens. First period. 3-2 Nashville. Ooh, that's not a great way for Korea to return. Normally he plays really good when he returns, but I mean, at least our offense is still in this game because Agostino and Geeky have goals, but Clefbaum, Estrada, and Breland have their goals. We are down 3-2 after 1. We're being outshot 13-12, so pretty even first period, but I don't like that defensive play at all. Don't like the goaltending either. Can we find a way to tie this game up or to take the lead in the second period? Second period, 3-3, let's go. That's a huge goal from Carl Spalling late in the period. We have tied the game up. Shots are 26-22 in favor of the Preds, but it's a 3-3 game. Now, can we take the lead in the third period is the question, or are we going to be going to an overtime situation for Game 5? Come on, let's see what happens. Come on, boys, let's get that lead back. Power play opportunity in the third period, and we do not convert. Penalty kill. And it's a long penalty kill. I don't know who took this penalty. 5-on-3, and now they score. God damn it. Whoever took that penalty is not going to be on the team next season. I'm joking, but still. That is a bad penalty to take, and we're going to lose 4-3 in a close game. They outshot us 39-33, and we lose by 1 goal. God damn. Who took that penalty, though, that Climby scored on? Who took that penalty out of curiosity? Bilesma was, oh, that's why. It was an elbowing major. Bilesma took a major penalty, and then Sasaki took a penalty during that same penalty, I think. And then Climby scored. Agostino from Michkov and Geeky from Agostino and Bilesma. Spalling from Filppula. Come on, guys. We want to play good this year. If Bilesma's picking up all these points in the playoffs randomly. So Agostino gets first start, Geeky second start, and Clefbaum the third for them. Yeah, we got to make some adjustments. We got to make some adjustments to try and force us to a Game 7. I mean, we've been pretty good offensively, as you could tell. Mishkov 17 points in 10 games, but we are on the brink of elimination because of our defensive play. So I do think we need to reunite Sasaki and Bilesma, and then we will try... What can we try here? Yeah, Burkov with Fairchild. Yeah, Burkov with Fairchild should work. McGrath and Hyvenin on the top 6. And we'll go back to Donovan for this game because Korea was not necessarily the greatest. And, wait, Filppula has 4 points in 4 games? Yeah, he does. Damn. Okay, he's been good. Keep him in, I guess. Maybe we want to change something up randomly. Yeah, I'm going to split Michkov and Agostino for 1 game. I know this is kind of a boneheaded decision, but Kagerodov should do good on that top line. We'll just try and change things up a little tiny bit. See if that helps out the team. 7 points in 10 games for McIntyre. 8 points in 10 games for Penner. Maybe change up the 2 of these as well. Yeah, we'll just change that up as well. I'm just trying to find anything that would help this team out right now. Like, we could always just call up Galiev, but I don't think that's the right move to make. Any defenseman not that good plus-minus wise? Only a +1 for McGrath. I don't want to scratch McGrath necessarily, but... Should I throw McElhaney into the lineup at some point? Should I throw McElhaney in? Ustorf hasn't been taking a lot of penalties, but yeah, just for the offense, we'll put McElhaney into the lineup and see if that helps out a little bit. I don't want to scratch Ustorf, but we are going to try that out and see what happens. See if McElhaney could help get this team to a Game 7 situation. So it's in Nashville too, which is not great because winning on the road is definitely tough, especially in an arena like Nashville. So here we go, game number 6. Can we force a Game 7 and survive in the second round, or are we going to be knocked out in the second round? Real-time simulation for this game. Come on, guys. We scored 8 goals in a game in this round. We need to find a way to win the series. We're a really good offensive team, but the defensive play has just not been there. Maybe I should have upgraded our defensive core at the deadline, but of course it's going to be the 4th liner. That's like a 74, I think. As Nashville opens the scoring, it's 1-0 for them after 1. Shots are 11-8 in favor of Nashville. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the second period? Come on, boys. Come on, penalty kill early into the second. It's a big major penalty kill, and we kill it off. Nicely done. Come on, guys. Coley Hakovo makes it 2-0. That might be the dagger, to be honest. 5-on-3 power play. We do not convert. We're going to be knocked out in the second round again, aren't we? We're going to get knocked out in the second round. It looks like shots are 2-0, or not 2-0, what the heck. 21-15. Favor of the Preds. We're down 2-0 going into the third period. Looks like the season is going to be over in the second round again, just like last year. Like I said, you can't underestimate this Nashville Predators team. They were really good offensively in the regular season, dropped off a lot, and now they're back up here again. Probably going to win the Stanley Cup as well, I feel like, at this point. Yeah, we're going to get shut out in this game, looks like, potentially, too. Oh, maybe not. Geeky makes it 2-1. Can we tie it up? No, we cannot. We lose 2-1 in Game 6, and we are out in the second round for the second straight year. That's unfortunate. Geeky from Kagerodov and Spalling. Our big boys didn't step up when they needed to in that game. Mishkov had 5 shots, but didn't get anything going. Shelley, only 1 shot on goal. That's kind of concerning. Nothing from Bilesma either, which is kind of weird. And yeah, Donovan was fantastic in that game. But unfortunately, we cannot get it done. And we are knocked out in the second round again. Even though we had a lot of players that were probably over point per game. We finished 6-5 in the postseason. So we had a winning record, but we lose in the second round. Let's take a look at our player stats for the playoffs, and then we'll sum up to the awards and all that. But I bet you the Nashville Predators are going to be the Stanley Cup champions. Yeah, I feel like Nashville's going to win the Stanley Cup this year. I don't know why. Kind of felt like that halfway through the season, though, too. So let's take a look at these player stats. So Geeky was fantastic, 14 points in 11 games. Does he come back next season? I don't know, +9. Penner, 8 points is really good. Spalling was good offensively. Filppula was really good as well in this short span he played. Damo was actually pretty good too, but I did take him out of the lineup. McElhinney had nothing in that one game that he played. Left wing wise, Agostino was over point per game, but it kind of had a really slow second round, I think. 13 points in 11 games. Shishkinov, 10 points in 11 games, really good. McIntyre, 7 points. So the depth scoring was definitely there. Michkov, 17 points is fantastic as heck. Kagerudov, 13 points. Yoshimura, 6 points. Shelley, 6 points. So that's where it kind of dips off a little bit offensively. And then Ustorf had 4 points in 10 games, which is kind of a surprise. Only 2 shots on goal in those 10 games. And then defensively, Bilesma had a breakout playoffs with 10 points in 11 games. It was a +9. Don't know where that offense came from at all. But I definitely will take that if he could do that again next year. 3 points from McGrath, 2 points or 2 goals from Sasaki, -1, so not great defensively. Fairchild was great defensively, a +11 with 2 points. Hyvanen 2 points, and Burkov nothing. Goalie-wise, Korea was not good, and Donovan was actually really solid. His save percentage isn't there, but his goals against is. So goaltending definitely needed to improve. Defensively, our other pairings other than Bilesma and Fairchild definitely needed to be worked on a little bit, but offensively, really good our first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but unfortunately, we are going to be packing our bags in the second round again. And yeah, I feel like Nashville's definitely going to go on to win the Stanley Cup at this rate. Let's see if that is the case or if they're going to be knocked out in the conference finals. I feel like they're just going to win the Stanley Cup. Watch, and there it is. I predicted it right. The Nashville Predators win the Stanley Cup. Stockton wins the AHL, but yeah, I knew the Nashville Predators were going to win the Stanley Cup after they beat us. Just felt like it. That is unfortunate. We lose to the best team in the NHL after winning the President's Trophy. They end up sweeping the Boston Bruins for the Stanley Cup, and they end up sweeping the Calgary Flames in conference finals. So after they beat us, they won 8 straight games. Wow. I mean, they won 10 straight games en route to the Cup, I guess, because technically we had a 2-1 series lead, and then they won. Actually, did we have a 2-1 series lead? Yeah, we did, I think. And then they might have had an 11-game winning streak going into that Cup win. But yeah, that Nashville Predators team was really good. Let's go to the awards for the season. So Nashville wins the Stanley Cup for the first time, it looks like, in quite a while. It's now been 2 years since we won a Stanley Cup. And yeah, back-to-back President's Trophies at least, so we're adding more hardware to our team, but not the right one. We would rather a Stanley Cup than a President's Trophy. And yeah, Nashville and Boston Stanley Cup Finals. In terms of individual awards, Desjardins is going to win the Art Ross for the 2nd straight year for the San Jose Sharks. He also wins the Hart, so no Agostino this time around, which is unfortunate. Cam Beats is going to win a Norris for the Boston Bruins for the 2nd straight year. Lambert wins the Lady Byng, the breakup Michkov's little streak he kind of had, in a sense, again. Trojanovic is going to win the Calder for the Rangers. Estrada, the Conn Smythe for Nashville. Lacroix wins the Vezina, not a surprise there. And the Jennings, yep. Taratukin, the Masterton for Philadelphia. Bennett for the Islanders is going to win Jack Adams for the 2nd straight year. Walters wins the Selke for the Ottawa Senators. Desjardins wins the Lindsay for the San Jose Sharks. And Darling's going to win his 2nd straight. Richard in 3 in the last 4 years, actually, too. So no awards for our NHL team this year, unfortunately. And in AHL-wise, did they have any awards down there? No. Unfortunately, we did not. That sucks. I actually want to take a look quickly at the AHL team's playoff stats because I want to see how good some of these guys were doing. Lambert was over point per game down there. Damn, that's pretty good. How about like Lynch and stuff? 3 points. He's still 74. Huh. Interesting. How was the goaltending from Galiev? Not good. Yeah, Galiev had a good season down there in the AHL, but he's probably gone in terms of the NHL this season. just because Donovan's definitely taken over that backup type of role for our team. So there is that. Let's continue to sim up until the draft lottery results and all that type of thing, and I'll show you guys the contracts, the progress reports in the draft class, and then that'll be it for this episode. But oh man, that sucks. Losing the second round again. St. Louis ends up winning the draft lottery as well. So after they knocked us out last year, they managed to win the draft lottery the year following, which is weird. Winnipeg and Montreal and Detroit Columbus are the rest of the top 5. So there's that. And the retired players for this season. Patrick Laine is going to retire. Brady Tkachuk. So some pretty big players. Let's actually go by position. Make it a little bit easier. John Farinacci retires. There's a former Coyotes legend, I guess you could say. We traded him away at one point, I think, or we let him go to free agency. 884 points in 1,109 games. Best of luck to him in retirement. Anybody else that used to play with us, out of curiosity? Anybody? Don't think so. Last you heard it, kind of don't recognize that guy. There you go. Left wing wise. Yeah, Brady Tkachuk, Tolvanen are the best players. We played a lot of playoff games against Tolvanen when he was with Nashville. Kyle Krnkovic, who played with us for a little tiny bit of one season, if I'm not mistaken. Right wing wise, the line is the best. Kairu's also up there. Noel. There you go. Defensively, the best defenseman retire. Adam Boquist. Rasmus Dahlin retires. At least we got him a Stanley Cup win a couple years ago, 2 years ago, where he had 14 points and it was a plus 19. So yeah, at least wins one Stanley Cup with us. Byram retires. Merkley. Victor Soderstrom, there's a former Coyotes player. Heinola, I think, played with us as well at one point. Or maybe not. Did he play with us? Yeah, he did. One season. So some former players retiring, which is interesting, but nobody as of note, really. Why do I recognize Bellamy's name? Tampa. Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know. There you go on that front. Goalie-wise, the best goalie retired is Michael DiPietro. Garen Bjorklund's also up there. And that type of thing. So, no retirements for our team, but some former players, which is not a surprise. In terms of players that are coaches now, Patrick Laine is now a coach, which is kind of funny. Interesting. And we did lose one of our scouts to retirement. That's our OHL scout, so we will have to find ourselves a new OHL scout next episode. If you guys could remind me about that, please, because I probably will forget. And otherwise, we also do lose, I believe, our AHL head coach, if I'm not mistaken. It's interesting. Final few things. Let's take a look at that draft class and progress reports and contract situation. So the draft class, we are going to be drafting probably pretty late into the draft again, like 28th or something like that. I did pin a few players already, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, but don't know how good these guys are. Oh yeah, this guy was a guaranteed low elite offensive defenseman, and he looks really good. So maybe we want to move up in the draft, because we do need ourselves the offensive defenseman. And if this guy's a right-handed shot, if he's offensive like that, he's 2 years out, and he's a guaranteed low elite, I think we need to try and move up in the draft a little bit to get Davis Clark. So we could give up like a player on our roster and probably move up easily enough, I'd say. I would really like to get an offensive defenseman on this team because most of our defensemen are very defensively minded. So it'd be nice to get Davis Clark if we can, because he's definitely probably the best bet for that point in time in the draft, it looks like. Yeah, I think we definitely got to move up for that guy if we can. Because we are going to be drafting where? We are going to be drafting at number 28. So yeah, we got to definitely move up like a couple spots. But we do have players we could move away in terms of the trade to move ourselves up a couple spots, I think, to get him. Let's take a look at those progress reports. See if there's any developments. So it looks like Donovan's growing, which is good to see. He's now listed as a starting goalie. So that's interesting. So I guess him and Korea might split time next season. And in a lot of other statistical growth, which is not a surprise. In the system-wise, Devereaux is up to a 73. That's pretty good for the low elite. Schutz is up to a 71, but he's 23 already. Lynch up to 74. A lot of our low elites getting those good development, which is good to see. In general, pretty solid growth throughout most of our prospect pool. Voloshenko only went up by 1, but he's a 76 now, so he might not actually make the NHL if he continues to stay like that, which is not great. And yeah, goalie prospect wise, the backup is growing, which is good. Galiev obviously is probably gone from this team though. Final thing, the contract situation for the offseason ahead. As you can see, Geeky, Shelly, Yoshimura, all their contracts are up. Yoshimura's the only RFA this offseason. And we also have McIntyre that needs a new contract, Shishkinov, Ustorf. Like, this is a very expensive offseason probably ahead for this team, so we might end up losing some big players, but at least there's some youngsters like Devereaux who are getting close to the NHL. So, also Donovan's an RFA, and okay, his contract's not too bad, but 3 years you see that he wants an actual starting. Yeah, if you go to 8 years, he wants 11 million. So that's where it's gonna get really expensive. And then yeah, Galiev is probably gone unless we want to use him as a third string goalie again, since he wants under $1 million at this stage. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the offseason. And once again, hopefully this team could try and find a way to contend again next season, despite probably losing some big players this offseason. So you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.